Coming up, Springdale schools continue to emphasize on literacy by bringing him a national speaker. Plus, Lee Elementary brings history to life by showcasing artifacts from the Civil War. And what happens when frozen temperatures meet a banana? We will show you. And all that and more as Springdale Today starts now. Hello and welcome to another episode of Springdale Today. I'm Valerie Hernandez.
And I'm Paola Mata. Today is February 11, 2015. Our top story this week, a national literacy speaker came to the Springdale School District, and Manuel Vargas joins us on set to tell us a little bit more about what went on. Manuel?
Every student in Springdale knows that the spring semesters equal literacy exams. Sonora Elementary is preparing for those with a conference called Hello Literacy. Jennifer Jones is a K-12 reading specialist and also teaches professional development for teachers. And she has been teaching for 21 years, and for the 5 last years she was a literacy coach.
It's very powerful professional development when teachers can watch other teachers teach. And so I have worked with Sonora before. I've worked with them for the last 4 years. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, but Dr. Stuman has hired me several times to come here and help her staff with best practices in literacy instruction, and that's what I'm here doing today.
January 3rd, Jennifer was at Sonora Elementary School, giving a presentation over how to interact with kids and help them with the literacy. The purpose of this program, Hello Literacy, is to help kids to have a better reading skill, interact with teachers and students.
We're already doing guided reading groups. We do write our own lesson plans, but I think we wanted to have Jen Jones come in so we can see the verbiage that she uses and maybe pinpoint some details that our kids were not doing, and maybe change a few of our strategies to help impact the kids and help them grow to become much better readers.
Jennifer Jones said, Springdale School is a district where she sees lots of progress in literacy.
Springdale Schools is a district that I see as a very progressive school district in Arkansas. There's a lot of schools around the country that haven't come into the 21st century yet for literacy best practices and instruction. And it's really important, if we want to prepare kids for college and career, that we are teaching them how to be independent problem solvers, and that's all the way, even at the word level, all the way to when they're working with text and thinking critically about the text that they're reading. So I see Dr. Stuman really getting her teachers on board with getting kids to be critical thinkers and prepared for their future.
Springdale District Television, I'm Manny Vargas. And not only will this help kids read, but also help teachers interact with their students.
Thank you, Manuel.
Literacy is critically important in our community and our students. But what is literacy, and why are we focusing so much attention on it? Graphic and the definition of literacy. The quality or state of being literate. Possession of education, a person's knowledge or a particular subject or field. We went to Helen Tyson Middle School to find out how they are teaching literacy. Angie Jester helps her students focus not only on English literacy, but also their reading skills in other subjects. Brittany Heckman is a literacy coach at Helen Tyson Middle School, who has a literacy teacher being more interacted on how they share ideas with one another by reading, writing, and thinking.
We are wanting students to not only read and write, but we want them to think as they are doing so. So they really need to do reading and writing and thinking all at the same time, even though sometimes it's thought of 3 separate things. One way to do this is that we encourage a lot of conversation among our students so they can hear how their peers are thinking. And it's a safe place to talk about literacy when you talk to your students instead of having to talk to the teacher or a facilitator or a principal.
As for Sarah Boyce, a student of Miss August's class, suggests that there are different ways to let out enthusiasm and still being on topic.
We use the yoga balls so we can kind of use some of our energy, but we can still focus on what we're doing in class. And so if we're feeling energetic, we can still do our work during class and use that energy.
You saw in one classroom the students were actually working on science, but they were reading an informational text and extracting information from that text in order to analyze the information.
Colby Bauman, a student of Miss Allgood, is reading Peter Pan, a novel by Jim Barrie, and they are analyzing the structure of novels.
We did a plot mountain about Peter Pan, and we wrote rising action, and we're talking about climax in the book, and falling action, and a lot of other things.
Missy Allgood has a special way for teaching to help her students engage in literacy.
I try to use tactile lessons as much as possible and let the kids be doing something while we're learning. So we have a 3D journal that we're keeping that has all of the lessons we learn related to grammar, mechanics, plot structure, elements of text, and how text structure helps us to understand what we read.
Go.
Taylor, I don't know about you, but yoga balls will sure make us be more focused.
That's so true, Valerie. Yoga balls would definitely be a different taking class, and I think kids would be able to get their jitters out, stay more focused.
Lee Elementary had a special visitor that brought history to life from a time when America was at war with itself. Alfonso Romo joins us in the studio. Alfonso, Steve Bailey not only makes presentations to elementary students, but also is in reenactments.
That is right. Steve Bailey got involved with the Civil War reenactments after he discovered he had family members that fought in the war. Now he travels to elementary schools to make sure this history is not lost.
Do you see the difference in the division the war made?
Steve Bailey, a Civil War reenactor, came to Lee Elementary to talk to 5th graders about the Civil War and how family inspired him.
Well, what got me started in the Civil War reenacting was I went to a reenactment, and then I went home and thought about my family and what the Civil War meant to my family.
For his presentations, he brings army shoes, socks, binoculars, haversacks, and drinking canteens so they can see what they used during the Civil War.
I think the students will benefit from a Civil War presentation in that they can see the artifacts, they can see some of the noteworthy things the soldiers and civilians did in the war, and they can get a bigger picture of what the war was about.
5th graders are using this information that they are learning from Steve Bailey for their Civil War projects that they are working on in class.
Well, I liked how he sort of talked. It was in sort of like a playful way to keep us entertained while we were learning still.
From a civilian and military background, Steve learns something new every time he goes to a Civil War reenactment by keeping an open mind.
I carry a lot of props when I do my presentations because I want people to see from a North and a South perspective what the Civil War was about.
Getting the opportunity to see Steve Bailey speak really spoke to me about the history of our nation and how we fought so hard for what we believe in.
Thank you, Alfonso. He will later be joining us in the show to showcase his passion for dancing.
In terms of the Civil War had two battlefields here in Northwest Arkansas, the Battle of Pea Ridge and the Battle of Prairie Grove. Michael Driscoll shares this story.
100 years ago, the most commemorated event of the Civil War in Arkansas took place. After fighting several battles in April, including some of the fiercest and most controversial actions that occurred in Arkansas during the Civil War, the Federals limped back to the capital after suffering severe casualties. Confederate forces were secure in their bases in southern Arkansas for the remainder of the war. The Battle of Prairie Grove was a battle of the American Civil War fought on December 7, 1862, that resulted in tactical stalemate but essentially secured northwest Arkansas for the Union. The Battle of Pea Ridge, also known as the Battle of Elkhorn Tavern, was a land of the American Civil War, fought March 6 through March 8 in 1862 at Pea Ridge in northwest Arkansas. Union forces moved south from central Missouri, driving Confederate forces into northwest Arkansas.
If you would like to witness a Civil War reenactment, go to Pea Ridge Battlefield webpage, and also if you want to you can also check out Prairie Grove's Battlefield webpage.
And now it's time for news around the district. Do you know what this weekend is, Valerie?
No.
It's Valentine's Day. Hazley files a story about the history of Valentine's Day.
The history of Valentine's Day and the story of its creator is shrouded in mystery. We do know that February has long been celebrated as a month of romance and that St. Valentine's Day, as we know it today, contains traces of both Christian and ancient Roman tradition. The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, and all of them could be the original. One legend says that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families, he outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Ever since this tragic event, Valentine's Day has been considered one of romance for the lovers who participate. Here are a few fun facts on Valentine's Day. More than 36 million heart-shaped boxes of chocolate are sold for Valentine's Day each year. On average, men shell out $130 each on candy, cards, jewelry, flowers, and dates. About 1 billion Valentine's Day cards are exchanged in the U.S. each year. That's the second largest seasonal card sending occasion of the year, next to Christmas. Richard Cadbury invented the first Valentine's Day candy box in the late 1800s.
Thanks, Hayes. A pretty interesting history of Valentine's Day. Valerie, what are you going to do this weekend?
Well, I think I'm going to spend it with my little one, and we're going to eat a lot of chocolate.
Sounds like fun.
Want to come?
No.
In other news, Central Junior High had a very special visitor, Miss Arkansas. She stopped by CJHS to share a little of her story and spread some useful information on their life after high school.
My personal platform as Miss Arkansas is entitled Aim Higher, Setting Our Sights on Higher Education. So I tell them just a little bit about my story, my vested interest in higher education, and just a little bit about my family. So my parents are both first-generation college students. I come from a hometown of 75 people. So my message is really, if I can do it, so can you. And here's how higher education can help you make all of your dreams come true.
Miss Arkansas also visited several of our schools here in Springdale. To check out pictures and hear some of her story, check out the Springdale Schools Facebook page.
Coming up after the break, we freeze bananas and blow them up. And we're going to have some live music on set.
At the School of Innovation, I get to have my own laptop and use it to access my teachers anytime, anywhere.
At the School of Innovation, we get a high school diploma.
And 2 years of college credit.
We each serve an internship and get real-world skills.
And all before we graduate.
Hi, I'm Joe Rollins, and we want you. Invest in yourself, invest in your future.
School of Innovation, yes!
I'm Dr. Megan Watansky. We are proud to announce that Springdale School District has been ranked one of the top performing school districts in the world through the Advanced Ed accreditation process. When compared to 435,000 classrooms around the world, Springdale School District ranks near the top. Thank you to our students, teachers, parents, administrators, and community members for this remarkable achievement.
Welcome back. Science is always fun, but even more fun when liquid nitrogen is involved. Michael Wright joins us on set to tell us more.
Thank you, Paola and Valerie. Students at Central Junior High School had the opportunity for a hands-on science lab that they will never forget.
And I am more than a grade.
And I am more than a grade.
And I am more than a grade.
At Central Junior High School, physical science classes are cooling things down as they review with the fun day of freezing objects in liquid nitrogen.
Today we did some demonstrations with liquid nitrogen just to show the kids how when something is cooled, when a gas is cooled, how it can take a liquid form, and how when you expose that cooled gas to normal room temperature air, the different things it'll do, include expanding a balloon, and how it'll make solids even more solid, how it'll increase the the proximity of the molecules, which makes their molecular attraction stronger, which makes them less flexible. So we took like a racquetball and put it in liquid nitrogen, and after a few minutes you could tap it with a hammer and it would shatter because it lost its flexibility because the atoms and molecules were closer together and had a stronger attraction to each other.
Science classes met in Mark Rothmeyer's room to review the laws of gas and the relationships between pressure, temperature, volume, and the number of particles.
So this is kind of an end of unit sort of fun day that we do with the kids to just to try to reinforce the lessons they've already learned and to help them connect the material with something concrete and experiential in their lives.
Although they couldn't handle the liquid nitrogen, students got to try frozen Cheetos.
Well, they mostly were observers because liquid nitrogen is about 350 degrees below zero, and so there are not too many things we can let them do with it hands-on because it is slightly dangerous. They were involved because we did freeze some Cheetos, and they got to eat some Cheetos at the end that were frozen, so they got to blow some liquid nitrogen out of their mouth and out their noses, which they thought, of course, was great fun. That's what they'll remember a year from now. They'll be like, "Good, remember the Cheetos?" So yeah, so that's what they got to do today.
Would you girls like to eat Cheetos dipped in liquid nitrogen?
Well, yes, I actually would. That sounds really interesting. Would you, Valerie?
I would. I would love to try something new.
Valerie, by any chance, do you like to dance?
I do, and I even have my favorite dance move.
Which is?
The sprinkler. Do you know how to dance?
No, I actually don't know how to dance. But I'll join Alfonso live on set to learn some cool dance moves. Alfonso? Hold up, I'm coming, you guys. You got this.
Hi, Paola.
Hey, Alfonso. Can you tell us a little bit more about your video?
Well, my video is about my best friend and how it influenced him and how it changed his life growing up as a dancer.
You got some cool dance moves for us?
Yeah, well, I can show you how I can transition going into a Frankenstein and doing it to a wave.
All right, then let's see that.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
While he keeps showing me how to dance, let's take a look at his video.
Ooh.
My name is Razo, and what I do is dance. Never really had that experience of the dancing. It just happened randomly. Like, I just heard a good beat and somehow I want to make up my own dance, and from there on I just, began to start dancing. Just have a beat. It's just to move your body around. Dancing is like life to me. I love it, I enjoy it. I always believe in my dreams. My dream is to become, a great dancer, to show everybody that, dancing is, out there. It's a positive thing. Everybody should probably just do it because, it keeps you out of trouble. And the reason why what it really inspired me to do is just that I want to keep on dancing. What moves you?
That was a very interesting video. Hey, Valerie, what did you learn today?
That Alfonso has some pretty good dance moves, but I'm gonna stick with my sprinkler. Coming up after the break, we'll visit DJ Torres live on set.
Welcome back. Valerie is on set with DJ Torres. What do you two have for us this week?
We're here with Jose Torres. Jose, what do you have for us today?
Hola, Valerie. Hola, hola, hola. Today we're going to be showing you guys some scratching and some mixing. First of all, I want to show you what these are. These are 2 turntables and a mixer. Imagine if these are just big iPods. Okay. So you can actually load music.
Okay.
But the cool thing about these two is that they actually sound like real vinyl. I don't know if you guys have seen real vinyl. They're about 12 inches. And with the mixer, you have this little fader that if you put it this way, you will hear the sound that's on this turntable. If you put it on this side, you will hear the sound that's on this side. So right now it's on that side, and I don't hear anything. You see? But if I put it in the middle, you will hear both. And I'm going to do a little bit of scratching. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you try this.
Okay.
And basically, if you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all you have to know. You're gonna move this forward and backwards, okay, to the beat. So the easiest scratch is called the baby scratch because it's just, okay, anybody can do it. Okay, go ahead and try it. There you go, there you go, okay. Now try something a little bit harder. Instead of just 1 beat, going like this, try twice.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it. A little bit forward, a little bit forward, right there. Okay, go ahead. There you go. Now try combination. So slow and then fast.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Doesn't matter where I put.
There you go, pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna do just a little bit more. There you go.
Back to you, Paola.
Thanks, DJ and Valerie. Well, that's all we have for you two, for everybody this week. We'll see you in the next show. Thanks for joining us. Have a fascinating week, and we'll see you next time.